without heart. In your head, you're right, but in my head, you are the bad. I wanna show to the world that you're the bad one. You was being bad. That use all my love, use all my time, use all my heart.
Alright, last night I got some of the wiring pulled out. Not fully pulled out, that's what I want to finish doing today. And pulling some of the other stuff out in there. But I'm going to take all that out so I can start working on some of the rust. Emptying the engine bay so get it ready for rust repair and paint. Oh, and Connor's cleaning his new car. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. The harness that goes all the way through here into the fenders. So I'm probably gonna have to pull the fenders off and get that out, unplug a couple things. I'll end up taking the brake lines out, the brake booster, and the steering rack. But yeah, well, not the actual rack, but the linkage. And yeah, all that jazz. I'll be cutting out the battery tray, cleaning up all this. So I don't know if I've showed it yet, but yeah, there's actually some rust here, so I want to clean all this out, see how bad it really is, because it goes, oh, this side's not horrible back here, but this side it goes back there. So I want to clean that all up, see how extensive it is, and then, you know, evaluate what I'm going to have to do. I cleared a little bit of stuff out, a couple little brackets here and there. I started to look at where the brake lines come through so I can undo the brake lines. I'm seeing that it's definitely been some poor rust repair before, just using filler foam or whatever. But I want to get the brake booster and all the brake lines out anyways. And I'm going to be replacing the seat anyways and taking the carpet out and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the seat out so I can get under the dash easier and take out the brake booster and all that jazz. 3 bolts and a nut, and then yeet. All done. So it started with me taking the seats out, and well, one seat out, the other seat wasn't even in it. And now it's turned into me taking the whole interior out. And it's no wonder it smells like dead rats, because there's dead rats. More of them. Just little crushed up little bones. But yeah, I'm gonna vacuum the carpet and stuff just to get it cleaner. But I am gonna end up pulling all the carpet out. I just got the center console out. And yeah, I'll end up taking the carpet out because I want to clean it, maybe dye it. I don't know. I want to clean it up. But yeah, it's turned for me taking a couple wires out and cleaning the engine bay so I could clean that up, get it ready for motor, into me tearing this apart a little bit, because why not? The main reason was so I could get to the brake booster, take that out, but I knew I was going to take the carpet out anyways, and it's sort of gross and probably covered in rat urine, so I just want to pull it out anyway, so I'm not laying in that. And then I keep chugging on that. See, this is what the carpet looks like, and this is what it's supposed to look like. Yeah, there's a difference there. So I'm keep chugging. So I wanted to really dig down into it and see how bad this rust really is, and well, there's only one way to do that.
You beg me to come with you. I don't know, I'm fine without you. You beg me to come with you. I don't know, I'm fine without you.
Well, this is getting a lot worse. So if we hop in the engine bay here, as I'm going through, I'm just poking along, almost fell. As I'm going through, I'm just poking pretty much along the top of the frame rail, and the actual frame rail itself, I've only found one crusty spot, and it hasn't actually gone all the way through. It's just a little crusty on the surface. Obviously I want to go through and check the whole car and the whole frame and make sure it isn't rusty, maybe cut a little bit of the portion out and peel it back so I can look inside the actual frame rails. But going along the top side of the frame, I'm just scraping away at the seam sealer and finding more and more rust holes. So starting from the front, I just poked that hole, pretty much just jabbing it with a screwdriver, because if it's soft enough for me to poke through with a screwdriver, obviously it's not going to be good metal and I want to cut it out. So there's a hole going through here, Keep going. There's just corrosion all in between the seams, which is just cancerous corrosion in there. And you go farther back, poked another hole here. This hole was already here, but not as big, so I made it bigger just to find, you know, where the bad metal ends. And it goes there, you know, hole here. That little bit of corrosion on the frame is right down there, so I don't know. Obviously, I want to get this car up in the air and sand that down, see how bad it really is. But I think most people at this point would abandon ship, but I don't want to abandon this little S13 because obviously they don't make these anymore. And me personally, it's not necessarily a classic yet, but I know that at one point that these will be, and people are going to look back and say, oh, you know, I wish I didn't scrap this one, I wish I didn't scrap this one. And I do want to fix this one. It won't be perfect. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do in this scenario, but it's not going to be factory fresh, it's not going to be perfect, but I do, oh, some more rust on that side. But I don't know, I want to save it. I don't want this thing to go to the junkyard. All my buddies are like, yeah, just pull parts off it, sell what you can, and, you know, make your money out of it. I got this car for pretty cheap, so I'd be making money if I parted it out, but I just don't want to do that to it. I want to keep it alive, keep it going. So I don't know, we'll figure something out. Alright, so I've dug into the S13 a little more. Got the center console all out, got the carpet out, and oh, what's that? Is that some rust? Let me show you some of the rust that I found that is changing the direction of this build a little bit. Starting down here, all along the floorboard is just straight through, like, yeah, it's gone completely through. Right here, there's rust, which has gone completely through. There's rust back here starting to form, which I could probably push completely through. In that corner, it's gone completely through. And that one I knew about when I looked at the car originally. I mean, for the price of the car, I didn't really look too hard. But, so there's that. There is now this Bondo spot that I've found where I can actually grab this probably centimeter thick piece of Bondo and just pull and flex it. So that's fun. Then obviously we have the rust count under the hood. The rust count is growing. Holes going through here, holes going through here, through there, and then under the brake booster is that monstrosity, which will actually lead into the cabin. So that whole joint right there is completely rusted through. Someone had previously filled it with like insulation foam, which is a great fix for rust. Super sarcastic. So this is changing the build completely, because originally I just wanted to slap a stock KA in this thing and just get it on the road, have some fun, get some seat time, and just enjoy it. But given the state of the rest of the car, you know, I've got all the interior out. I'm going to be taking the dash out to redo that because it's pretty cracked up. I'm going to go full send. I've got a motor that I think I'm going to be figuring out soon, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming soon. Bigger plans are going to be coming soon for this. You know, I've got plans in my head. I want to formalize them and make sure that's the direction I'm going with it, but big things are going to happen to this little S13 now, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified of more updates in this build. And thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned.